Hey everyone, welcome to Beach Investing. I'm your host, Andre Angelkovsky. Today we are in the Toronto beaches, the heart of the Toronto beaches. So behind us here, that's the beaches down there. And we have Jerry Greer with us. How are you, Jerry?
Great, man. Andre, how are you?
Good, man. So we're in Jerry's investment property. It's a 5-plex, which has 5 separate units. And what Jerry's doing here is he's renovating one of the units extensively. So Jerry, just share with the viewers briefly what you're doing here, and a little bit about yourself as well.
Oh, I'm a real estate investor. I focus on the beaches area. I work with people who are interested in investing in real estate, who are looking for well-managed, low-risk, high-return properties, but don't have the time or they don't have the expertise to do it on their own.
Okay. And tell us. So what you're doing here is you're doing a big renovation.
Yes.
You're converting it from a regular rental, which is, you find regular tenants and they rent it out, to a short-term executive furnished rental suite. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So why are you doing that conversion? Why?
That's a very good question, Andre, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money. But
yeah.
I've been thinking about this for quite a few years, actually. But whenever I did research in the past, it always seemed that the short-term rentals, the executive type rentals, were always downtown Toronto or midtown Toronto, and not so much in this area. But thanks to your help, I've recently seen some opportunities here in the beach where there have been executive rentals, and apparently there is no vacancies or very low vacancies around that type of product. There seems to be a real shortage for that type of product. Also through discussions with Cindy Winterstrom, who's an expert in the rental market here, I was convinced that that's something I should do, especially with such a well-located property such as this. As you just mentioned, we're just a few steps from the beach and we're just a few steps from Queen Street. So I really believe that this type of location will really support the executive rental.
So what type of rents were you getting before? And after your renovation, which we are in the beginning stages of, what do you anticipate that you'll get in rent once it's fully renovated, furnished, and you get that tenant in there?
Well, that's the thing. I had quite good tenants here. They stayed for 3 years. Very good tenants, actually. Never always paid on time. I looked after the place. I had done some major repairs and some upgrades when I first bought the property 3 years ago. So I was pretty happy with what I was getting, which was about $1,575 per month. But having now investigated the higher end rental market with this kind of location and the executive rental market, I realized that if I really do a major renovation on the property and go after the higher rental market, I could actually increase my rent to about $2,500 per month. And then with the executive short-term rental, it's looking as if I could get as much as $5,000 per month. Wow. So that's obviously a substantial increase from what I'm getting today.
That is huge. So going from $1,575 to potentially $5,000 a month for this one 2-bedroom plus den apartment.
Right. That's right. That's correct.
Wow. So that is quite a huge difference. And if you don't mind telling us, viewers, approximately how much is it going to cost for this just one unit to be renovated to the way you want it to look for those executive high-end rentals?
Right. So it is, as I mentioned right up front, that it is an expensive renovation. I'm using Stephen Scott, who is doing a great job so far to do the renovation for me. And we're looking, it's hard to tell till it's all done, but we're probably looking in the range for just the apartment. I'm doing other work here too that Stephen's helped me out with, all the common areas, but just for the apartment itself, probably in the neighborhood of $80,000. And then there'll be some costs, obviously, with furnishing the apartment, or above that, going the executive rent over it.
Okay. So overall, that just gives you an idea of what it can cost to. This is how many square feet is this apartment, approximately?
Oh, it's about 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, is that 1150?
Thank you. Stephen's holding the camera here for us.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey, hi.
And by the way, Cindy's in the back room, so
maybe we'll catch her doing her work while we walk through this apartment. So can you tell us briefly about your thoughts on the beaches? Why do you choose the Toronto beaches to invest in?
Wow. I've been in the beaches for 21 years, so I've been here a long time, and it just keeps my view getting better and better. In fact, when I first moved here, I bought a duplex because I couldn't afford anything better at the time. And my wife and I, our new child who was about to be born, moved into the upper part of the duplex. We rented the main floor, then we put a basement suite in, and that worked very well for us for a few years. And ever since then, I've always had an investment property. And over the last few years, I've started to expand in the beach. And it's just look around you. Where else in Canada can you be this close to a 3.5-kilometer sand beach that meets international standards for cleanliness, both the beach and the water? We fly the blue flag here. That means we meet these international standards. Same time, we're a 10-minute drive from downtown, and we all know that Toronto has a great downtown and all the things that it has to offer. Plus, for commuting purposes, it's wonderful. Streetcar runs 24 hours a day, 20 minutes downtown in the streetcar. Take a look at the waterfront here and the green space. Along the waterfront, what do we have? We have the Bombay Beach Club. There's rowing and canoeing. It's famous for its rowing and canoeing club. We have lawn bowling for the older folks in the beach. We have an outdoor lacrosse and ice arena. And next to it, we have public tennis, a beautiful tennis club that overlooks the beach and the water. Very reasonable to be a part of that. We have the beach volleyball beyond that, again, at Uxbridge's Bay. Then we have 2 marinas with sailboats and powerboats. Lots to do in the beach.
There's tons.
And then there's a walking distance from Queen Street. And of course, we all know there's great shops and restaurants and boutiques and pubs and that sort of thing on Queen Street.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. So now we're going to take a quick tour of the house, of the apartment, and Jerry's going to explain to us briefly what you plan on doing. So right now we're standing in the family room. And Jerry, tell us what...
Cindy, come on over and say hello.
Oh, hey Cindy, how you doing?
Hi guys.
Cindy's the rental expert and renovation expert here on the beach, and she's doing a great job for us so far.
So what are you doing here today?
Today I'm dealing with a plumbing issue and some floor leveling issues. Jerry has a kind of a crooked house. And,
Which we'll show in a few minutes.
yeah.
That crooked room.
The crooked room is fun. We're going to make it less crooked. And what else are we doing today? Just a lot of drywalling, and yeah, it's going well. It's going really well.
So you're gonna rent this place for Jerry?
Yes, sir. I already have people coming to look at it tonight.
Awesome.
All right, perfect. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
great.
yes, sir. I don't tell my clients anything until it's done. So. Yeah, we have people coming. A lot of people from out of town looking in this area because the beaches is very sought after, and it's a beautiful neighborhood. So, yeah, my fingers are crossed. Tomorrow and tonight we have some showings.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. See you
All
later.
right, Cindy. So tell us we're in the family room here. What do you plan on doing here?
Okay, so this unit currently doesn't have access to an outdoor space. So what we want to do here, of course it'll take permits, but what we want to do here is put a balcony, and we'll have to lower where the windows are so you can walk out into the balcony, and that'll give the outdoor space for the people who live in this apartment. And I think if you're doing a higher end rental, that's something you need to provide.
Okay. So the flooring, do you plan on changing the flooring?
Yes, we're going to put new flooring throughout the whole apartment. This is probably the original hardwood in the building that was put here in the 1920s when the building was built. So it's time to change it out.
So almost 100-year-old house.
Yes.
All right. So new flooring, new walkout into a nice usable space for an outdoor front for the tenants.
Yes.
They can barbecue out there. They can enjoy the outdoor living on the beach.
Right.
So let's move on. This is, I guess, dining room area.
This will be the dining room area. That's correct, Andre. So it's all open concept between the living room, the dining room, and beyond to the kitchen.
So that's key here, right? Having an open concept that demands more rent.
That's right. That's what people are looking for, open concept.
Okay. So let's go into the kitchen here. So this being the kitchen, what do you plan on doing to the kitchen, Jerry?
The kitchen cabinets are going to stay. They're relatively new. This apartment before I bought it, had some renovations done to it. So we're going to keep the cabinets. They're in good shape. We are going to put the granite countertops in the kitchen. The old ones needed to go. New sink and faucet and stainless steel appliances.
Okay.
And a new floor.
Okay, and what's in behind here?
That is a common area. It's the back stairway that provides another exit to the building. It also provides access to the laundry room that all the apartments have shared, and that's another thing we're going to be doing, is putting a laundry, wash and dryer here in the apartment itself. Again, for the higher end rentals, there really is a requirement to have a laundry in the apartment itself.
Okay, that's great actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the back of the apartment. So now we're here in the bathroom, and since Cindy's just finished using the bathroom, she's going to explain to us what's happening here in the bathroom.
While sitting on our throne.
Well, we actually, this was supposed to be really easy, just a bathroom vanity swap out and put a nice tiled floor down. But our ceiling had some mold, so we took the ceiling down and replaced it with some resistant drywall. We're also putting in a really sexy vanity, which isn't here yet. And when we took the toilet up, we found that the flange was all disturbed and leaking. The floor had a little bit of rot going on. So we just had express rooter plumbing in here to change that out. And yeah, so when we're all done, it's gonna look beautiful. The tub surround was actually really nice. Jerry had that done a couple years ago. So for rental, it's one nice unified piece. It looks great still. The tub had a crack in it though, and the company that put this tub in went out of business and unfortunately couldn't get the money back for that. But we have a company coming in to do a repair on the base of the tub, which is going to cost around $450. But it's got a good warranty, and it will resist any further cracking because they're going to secure the base. So the bathroom is going to be beautiful when it's done. I already have some tiles on my mind that I want to buy and a vanity. So yeah, it's looking good. But every time you go to rip up a toilet or a vanity, you never know what you're going to find, unfortunately.
That's right. So especially in these old buildings.
Right, and we had wonky wiring too. There was no fan. We put in a fan, and we put a pot light in the shower, and covered up properly some wiring. That
But not just any fan.
No, we're putting in a very good fan. It's very quiet.
Ultra quiet.
Absolutely.
Can you hear it?
Is it even on?
There you go.
It's on.
That's broken. That's not working. All right, thank you,
So excuse me,
Cindy.
I'm really busy. I have to get back.
Yeah, she's gonna.
Yes, can't wait to see that.
And now into the famous cricket room.
All right, so as many people will know, in the beaches, buildings do have settled over time, and this one is no exception. And this back corner of this room has sunk down probably in the range of 6 inches or so.
Yeah, 6.5 inches.
From one end of the room, so that's quite substantial. So we need to fix that. So we found someone who was actually working on the fourplex next door, who had just finished doing similar work over there, and he's going to come by and he's going to level this out so that again, if you're doing a high-end rental, you really can't have a floor that's wonky like this. So we'll be getting that into shape.
So that is the before video tour of the Toronto Beach house that Jerry Greer has purchased and is renovating. And we will do an after shot too.
Yes, you will.
Absolutely. And around how much time?
Well, Stephen, my contractor, tells me he'll be out of here before the end of November.
Oh, the end of the week.
No. Come back in 4 weeks.
4 weeks, you heard it, folks.
We'll do it. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jerry. It was a pleasure.
It was
Thanks, guys.
all mine.